A pretty good looking guy in their Warren Buffett promo. Let's say on all things tech here, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is out with better than expected earnings for the most recent quarter. Let's get right to HPE CEO Antonio Neri. Antonio, always nice to see you, my friend here. As you know, I'm an avid student of earnings calls. Good earnings call for HPE. I noticed a slight change in tone. You said demand was uneven. What do you mean by that?
Well, good morning, Brian. Thanks for having me again. Yes, demand is uneven now, although it's more specifically accentuated in the compute space because, as we said yesterday, in the intelligent edge, in HPC and AI, and in the storage business has been solid and constant. However, on the compute side, obviously, we see elongated sales cycles and digestion of what customers bought last year. But all in all, we feel pretty good about our performance, which was record-setting in Q1, and the guidance we gave, which is based on our winning strategy, a 2x order book when we exit Q1, and the fact that we have amazing innovation that we continue to sell to our customers to meet them where they need it.
When you look at the growth rates in your business, Antonio, from around the world, are you seeing any differences? Is the U.S. outperforming? Is Europe outperforming? How do you see it?
It's quite interesting. Actually, it's fairly level, I will say, Brian. I think, I was in Europe last week. I did a tour in the northern region. And the partners and customers I met, they all said very clearly that IT continues to be a top priority for their spend. I was actually fairly surprised about that. But they all realize that now, with the data explosion that we see, the need to deploy AI everywhere, the need to modernize and deploy that cloud experience everywhere across the hybrid IT estate is actually continue to be a top priority. Now, within that spend, they continue to make shifts. And one of the areas where they spend quite a bit of time is driving resiliency, because obviously it's a key component of what we see today in this uneven macroeconomic environment.
We earlier on on our network, Antonio, we were speaking to tech veteran Tom Siebel over at C3 AI, and he's dropping all sorts of he seemed very excited about the AI in his business. Now, you talked a lot about AI in your business. Is this just all hype? Is this a real thing here?
Well, actually, I concur with Tom. Tom and I actually were having a dinner together when we were in Davos. And I believe he's right. AI has the potential to disrupt every industry, and we are excited as him. Now, for us, it's quite interesting because for a generational change, as we think about these type of technologies like web, mobile, and others, this inflection point actually comes to our space because we have unique innovation. We have the best innovation when it comes to AI at scale, supercomputing power. And when we think about the generative type of language models we're talking about these days, they all need supercompute capacity. And HPE is the market leader when it comes down to supercomputing capacity and doing it in a sustainable way. One of the reasons why I went to Europe is because I wanted to talk to customers about their view of AI and then how they want to consume it. And we have an amazing pipeline that actually allows us to think about offering a cloud supercomputing that they can consume as a service. So very exciting for us, and there is opportunity to partner along the way.
Thanks for that invite to that dinner, Antonio. I was in Davos. I saw you there. I wouldn't mind catching some food with you guys and hearing about AI. But dig deeper here for us, because a lot of investors I have a lot of AI conversations coming at them. They're confused. So when you say you power or your offerings will power some of this AI, what do you mean by that? And what do you see in terms of order trends as you look forward because of it?
Well, I think, we need to differentiate the AI models, right? So AI is a broad term, right? So we think about machine learning operations as an example of that. To me, that's more inference and ability to process data at the edge. Then, when I think about AI at scale with large simulation and models, like, finding cures for diseases, designing the next, turbo engine and the like, and even applications like chatbot GPT, you need models that are very, very accurate, that constantly train and retrain themselves. But one aspect you have to address is the ability to prepare that data, to automate data pipelines so developers can run those models at massive scale. And we as a company have a unique set of innovation that allows us to run this model at massive scale. Let me give you an example. With the Frontier system we deploy at the National Laboratory at the Oak Ridge Lab, we actually can run quintillion transactions per second. And you think about what that can do to models like ChatGPT, you know that can change the game. But also the fact that you're doing with 35% less energy. So we have to think about this in very radical ways. And HPE has unique innovation in the interconnect fabric and the ability to chain massive amount of computational power. In fact, the Frontier system is like 40,000 GPUs. So we believe we are very well positioned, but our goal is to offer an infrastructure as a service for supercomputing. So it's a supercomputer that runs on the cloud and a PaaS layer, a platform as a service layer, to eliminate those very tedious type of work, including the data pipeline automation.
Antonio, all that sounds like a huge opportunity for you and your company. You know, I look at the valuation on the stock, about 7.5 times forward earnings, 2 times order book. What's the street missing here, and why do you think they don't necessarily value you at the same level as some of these AI plays?
Yeah, I said many times, and I said at Davos, we continue to be undervalued by the composition of our portfolio and the progress we have made. Listen, in Q1, we established a record-setting performance. It was the highest revenue since 2016. We delivered the best ever operating profit at 11.8%, and we achieved the highest ever EPS of 63 cents, which obviously was well above our guidance that we provided a quarter ago. Combine that with our winning strategy across edge to cloud, and the fact that we have amazing innovation, both organic and inorganically, right? We acquire 4 companies. We actually have the confidence to continue to win and raise the outlook for the revenue and the EPS. In fact, the new revenue outlook we provide is 2x the original outlook. I think the street sometimes get fixated on compute, honestly. Compute today is now actually coming down as a percentage of the total revenue. It's only 44% from the high 50s. And you need to look at the intelligent edge. The intelligent edge business, we talk about that as being the rule of 40, 20% growth, 20% profit. We deliver 31% year-over-year growth with more than 20% profit. AI, again, grew 37% this quarter, and storage was very solid with 10%. And we continue to manage that compute business with best-in-class profitability. In fact, we delivered 17.6% operating profit, which is even higher than some of our competitors have with a combined total enterprise business. So I think people need to digest that a little bit in the last 2 days with a lot of news. But I believe we are positioned for success. And remember HPE GreenLake. It is a platform. It's the cloud platform. We deliver all these experiences. And that business today, in less than 2 years, we doubled the total contract value now up to $10 billion. And that revenue will unwind over the next 3 to 5 years.
Well, I encourage everyone that has seen this to go read your annual report, because I think a lot of investors are, in fact, missing some of those growth stories in your business. HPE CEO Antonio Neri, always good to see you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Brian.